The tide is certainly turning as we're navigating through a defining moment in the blockchain industry. Seeing the raging bull markets with all the artificial pumps, it seemed easy for the naysayers to label Cardano with the ghostchain narrative, high on hopium, distracted, and completely disrespecting the tech. But whilst the first movers were fighting out for retail adoption through the allure of shiny DApps and promise of moonshot pumps off the back of inflated vanity metrics, Cardano was methodically going about its business, executing what might possibly prove to be one of the greatest feats of innovation we'll see in our lifetime, laying the foundations for an ecosystem of a different kind. The tech really doesn't lie. Now, with each passing day, we see more examples of the shortcomings of Cardano's competitors laid out on full display. With thoughts of speed to market in mind, when you take a moment to evaluate the state of the landscape as it currently stands, it very quickly becomes apparent that Cardano's position, seemingly on the sidelines, a second mover in many respects, is proving to be its greatest strength. Welcome back for today's installment of Cardano Insights, where we track the all-important developments at the very pulse of Cardano and its ecosystem each weekday. So let's get straight into it. So yesterday we covered how the constant exploits across the Ethereum and Solana ecosystems are playing right into the hands of Cardano. If anything, whilst terrible for the users affected, it serves as a harsh reminder of why indeed the focus on security and correctness is a valid one when it comes to IOG's approach. This will go a long way in promoting individuals to come and join or at least explore what Cardano has to offer. With each passing day, it seems certain parts of the blockchain space is unraveling, and it goes way beyond insecure code leading to exploits. In this next item, the move fast approach seems to be stooping to new lows, and is somewhat confirming all the concerns we in the Cardano ecosystem have had for some time regarding misleading or majorly inaccurate numbers in terms of vanity metrics like TVL. Many of us have been highly skeptical of Solana's TVL, TPS, NFT volumes and decentralization numbers published, as irrespective of the community size or engagement, they always seem to dwarf that of Cardano's in pretty much all respects. Well, it seems that, with a story breaking overnight, it's becoming evidently clear that these numbers in terms of Solana have been highly manipulated. Using multiple pseudonyms and coding as 11 independent developers, one individual was able to create a web of interlocking DeFi protocols that projected billions of dollars of double-counted value onto the Saber ecosystem. This activity at its height made up to 7.5 billion of Solana's 10.5 billion TVL at its peak in the so-called Solana summer. Quoted here in this article, the individual responsible was reported to write, "I devised a scheme to maximize Solana's TVL. I would build protocols that stack on top of each other, such that a dollar could be counted several times." According to this individual, the same occurs on Ethereum, which was seemingly one of his motivations, and in effect greatly boosted Solana's appeal. I've always maintained that TVL is an irrelevant metric and certainly isn't a reason I would personally be attracted to any blockchain. But sadly for many, the hype TVL creates is a driver for retail to ape into crypto without any thought or consideration of the underlying tech, security or roadmap. I think this example highlights why you should approach everything with an open but skeptical mind, and where things don't completely add up, conduct significant research of your own. It's important to note this isn't Solana fixing the figures, but instead an actor operating within the Solana ecosystem. This has definitely reaffirmed my belief that there's far more shady activity taking place, inflating numbers across the entire space. If you want to check out an interesting piece of research that specifically dives into Solana's TVL metrics displayed on DeFi Llama, I've linked a great article published today by FoxFan52 in the description, who provides some real interesting data and insights on this topic. Now, with all the recent focus on exploits, hacks and now inflated vanity metrics surfacing, scrutiny of some of Cardano's biggest competitors is certainly reaching new highs. But as always on this channel, I want to bring the conversation back to Cardano and focus on an area I feel is one of Cardano's greatest advantages. It's well documented that in all industries, the first mover advantage is something for many which holds great importance, with the belief that this gives you a significant edge on everything else that comes thereafter. But this isn't the case. Whilst the first movers pave the way, being first to market has many drawbacks, and I believe can also stifle progress or development, as first movers can become fixated or intent on what initially worked for them, leading to a failure to adapt as new players enter a space. It's also extremely difficult, once you've built out a huge ecosystem like, say, that of Ethereum's, to make significant changes to the technology, with so many moving parts, as seen in their attempts to move to proof of stake, for example. In the case of Cardano, one of the most prominent examples of in being a second mover has led to probably what will turn out to be the most significant advantage, is the IOG team was able to assess and extensively analyse the UTXO model, which Bitcoin uses, with the account-based model used by Ethereum. It was possible to compare the two accounting models, find the advantages and disadvantages, and then choose the most efficient one to implement on Cardano. The IOG team chose UTXO, but heavily expanded on this concept. The result was extended UTXO, which is more secure from a developer's perspective and far more suitable from a scalability point of view if you want to create a world financial operating system. The EUTXO model is the very enabler for projects to deliver innovative solutions and protocols in a highly secure and scalable environment. When we think about the research, time and consideration that went into the architecture of Cardano, the promise is, as a result, the applications that are then able to be built using the EUTXO model is going to far exceed those delivered on any other chains. It's this methodical approach and slow to market approach that has enabled Cardano to deliver something far superior to what has gone before. We are now on the cusp of seeing the birth of an unrivaled DApp ecosystem, and when you weigh up Cardano's advantages from a technological standpoint, for me this far outweighs the benefits of, say, being the first smart contract platform in blockchain. This is an extremely interesting time, and we're going to be tracking all the developments as the ecosystem unfolds right here on this channel. Now, speaking of innovation as a result of the EUTXO model and an unmatched DApp ecosystem taking shape, I wanted to provide an update on AADA Finance, what is seemingly going to be the first peer-to-peer lending and borrowing protocol coming to the Cardano ecosystem. As I mentioned several times, this is a project in my opinion that's highly underrated, and the impact its use case is going to have on the Cardano ecosystem should really not be underestimated. In previous videos I've explained in detail the innovation behind the NFT bond concept, how the team at AADA Finance to date has delivered against all milestones, and the impacts lending solutions have on ecosystem growth and user activity. But today, in light of the launch of AADA edging closer, I thought I'd provide an insight to both the development progress of the project and yet another example of the team displaying true intent on delivering a fully decentralized protocol steered by its community. So first to the development progress and readiness for deployment once the Vassal hard fork event takes place. Tracking the communications on the project's Telegram account, the team have confirmed the audit is well underway, which the outcome of this hopefully should be confirmed next week, and based on the information provided by the developers here, the AADA Finance code is already complete with the Vassal upgrade, meaning it's completely ready to launch in the version 1 form with immediate effect after the HFC event, currently running smoothly on the Vassal testnet. This is big news and a testament to how the team at AADA have applied far more focus to the development of the protocol rather than a big media campaign to generate hype. It's my belief that the utility AADA Finance is bringing to the ecosystem post-launch will speak for itself. When I track projects, I'm far more interested in the innovative solutions and development focus rather than a big social presence. Now, I've spoken about the importance of DAOs in a recent video, and this is something that AADA too have always made clear that they'll implement to enable the community to steer the project in the most decentralized form. In May, the first proposal was put forward to the community and voted in favour to implement on-chain voting DAO governance to the AADA protocol. Now we're gearing up for mainnet launch, further proposals are now starting to come through. All project tokens that are to be integrated into the AADA DApp will have to be voted on through the AADA DAO on-chain voting. This ensures the specific tokens having access to the platform are indeed legitimate, and also empowers the community, so the users of the DApp, to have their say on the tokens that they want on the platform that can be used for lending and borrowing. But the on-chain voting extends further than just tokens to be listed on the platform. As an AADA holder, you have the right to shape the AADA Finance protocol. Users and projects within the ecosystem can submit proposals of any kind and have them voted on by the community through the AADA DAO. Currently there are proposals for Milk, Meld and CNETA tokens to be listed on the DApp, and a request for approval for the AADA double yield farming rewards to the MinSwap DEX, AADA ADA pool. Whilst in the early stage participation in votes may seem low, this is expected as the community is still growing, but the significance here isn't the amount of participation at this stage, but the fact that AADA are implementing the use of DAO right from the offset. Some proposals may seem obvious, but this is the whole point of governance. The fact that AADA are empowering the community in this way speaks volumes for the intentions of the project. We've all considered, from the actions of the team themselves, the recent news of their partnership and integration with Wingriders DEX for collateral swaps, the introduction of DAO governance already live, the fact that this is going to be the first peer-to-peer lending protocol using an innovative concept in NFT bonds on Cardano, and the development of the protocol ready to go as soon as the Vassal hard fork event takes place, the future is certainly looking bright for AADA Finance. Now, I'm not here to shill any project, but purely bringing to your attention what I see materializing when reviewing the tech, utility, team, and importantly, how the developments or progress is taking shape. As always, I would urge anyone to complete their own research before thinking about getting involved in any kind of investment. Anyway, for me personally, I'm really excited about the addition of this project to the Cardano ecosystem, and I'd definitely recommend, if you haven't already, get familiar with this unique project that's showing all the signs for becoming an important part of the Cardano ecosystem. I've linked some great places to start researching, along with details on how to participate in governance in the description below. So that's it for another installment of Cardano Insights, as we keep track of all the development progress in the ecosystem and continue to spread those positive Cardano vibes. If you found value in the content, then please do be sure to comment, share, like, and subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate all the support. We'll be back on Monday with your daily roundup, and until then, thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and as always, keep it Cardano.